but we're going to give you what you need. Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, I'll transfer to you. There is something you need. And when they've transferred what they had into the life of this guy, for the very first time, not only did he walk, but he leaped his way inside the temple, the place of light. He left the place of darkness. You've got to surround yourself with people who call the light out of you. I call them mentors. You see, what you don't learn through mentorship, you learn by experimentation. Now, experimentation can be a useful tool for explorative entrepreneurs. At the same time, however, mentorship may save you a lot of money that you may lose and time and a lot of damages. But you've got to draw the line between mentors and talkers. See, Kenya is one unique country. This is the only country I have seen where poor people want to advise you how you should make money. They come up with seminars that is not working for them. If it is not working for him, why is he selling failure to you? You see, a mentor should not be a travel agent pointing to places they have never been. A mentor must be a tour guide, leading you to places they have gone so many times. They know the way so clearly. They have trodden the path many times. You can trust their leadership. You see, one reason we trust Jesus is because he said, I know the way to the Father. If he wasn't sure with where he was going, you have no business trusting him. If it doesn't work for you, for heaven's sake, please stop pointing places you've never been. Take the journey and then make an invitation to people. Come to where I am. Never be mentored by losers. A mentor must be someone who's taken the journey ahead of you. And when I'm saying you ask the right questions, I'm not necessarily talking about mentors. I'm talking about yourself, asking yourself the right questions. And there are three primary questions you need to ask yourself. Question number one, what do I really want? Because clarity is power. Question number two, is this really my idea? Am I implementing another person's thought? By so doing, you'll have betrayed yourself, betrayed your potential, and live a life of a copycat. You see, if you are a specialist, you can't be attended by general practitioners. If you have rare gifts, general practitioners cannot understand you. They can only attend to general conditions. You need a specialist who can hear what you're saying, who can understand your inner whispers. And question number three, am I willing to go all the way? Not if trouble comes, but when trouble hits. You see, ladies and gentlemen, a good idea is not the one you possess. A good idea is the one that possesses you. That's only then you have the tenacity, the willpower to fight every unfamiliar giant along your life journey. So ask critical questions. Step number two, focus on the right things. Focus on the right things. You see, my Mercy has a unique way of identifying chameleons. Anywhere there are trees, she sees chameleons. We went to Nanyuki last year in a hotel. I suggested we go to the balcony to take some coffee. There was some fresh flowers smelling neatly, and the first thing she told me, what about chameleons? This year again, in March, we were somewhere. I told her, let's take a walk to the river and enjoy the river flowing. And when we reached the gate of that park, the first question she asked me, what about chameleons? And guess what? They always come. I never see them, but she sees chameleons. Because what you focus on gets hold of you. It appears to you. That means if you've been broke for 2 years in a row, you've been focusing on scarcity. If you're having marital struggles, you've been focusing on marital conflict. That's a hard saying. What you focus on gets hold of you. There are people who see bad things everywhere. Even in this meeting, there are people who will be focusing on everything that is going wrong. So at the end of the meeting, they will have a problem with the green carpet. You have a problem with the ceiling is too low. They will even say, I didn't look at them. You know, if you're looking for all the wrong things, you're going to get them. You see, a loving person lives in a loving world. A hostile person lives in a hostile world. If you're looking for the good in people, you're going to see the good in people. There are some of us who focus on very low ideals. There are some men who look at women merely as sex objects. So they can never engage with a woman at a higher level of morality and business. There are some women who see men purely as their sponsors, sorting out their temporal financial challenges. They never see how they can build collaborative partnerships with men for mutual benefit of both parties. You see, that which you keep focusing on will eventually betray you. It will come out in the public. Your life is an overflow of that which you keep looking and focusing upon. How many here know, if you buy a red car, you're likely to notice red cars along the way? Does that make sense? You suddenly notice red cars. I don't know whether Julia Chege is in our midst. Yes, Julia told me this. When she attended a 7C woman, and she decided to zero into her tree, for those who are joining us for the very first time. This is the conversation of purpose, identifying your purpose. We use the analogy of a tree. And she told me when she finally zeroed in to videography and photography, suddenly she began seeing opportunities, immense opportunities in videography and photography. Because what you focus on, you start seeing it. And sometimes I wonder, what do successful people focus on? You know, a voracious reader, the best investor the world has ever known, Warren Buffett, is known to read 600 to 1,000 pages of investment materials daily. He began this when he was 19 years of age, when he touched a book by legendary Wall Streeter, Benjamin Graham. The book entitled The Intelligent Investor at the age of 19. I don't know what your 19-year-old teenagers are reading. At the age of 19, he started developing an intellectual investment mindset. A few years later, he came across another groundbreaking work by the same author. Still on the stock market, security analysis is the title. And Warren Buffett says that has since become his roadmap in investments for the last 57 years. Then when you read Forbes, a man who has been the richest man for at least 4 years in a row and interacted on this planet, you understand it was about his inputs. What are your inputs? You know, we are very interesting Kenyans. We are too busy for reading. We are too busy for looking for information, but we have time for ignorance. The next moment, you go home and sit on the couch, and you're just about to watch TV and catch up with an episode. I want you to remember a gentleman by the name Tom Colley. He took 5 years to study the habits of the rich and the habits of the poor. Precisely, he took intense time studying 233 rich people and 128 poor people. Among many findings, let me give you one of them. He found out that 67% of all the rich guys watch TV no more than an hour every day. A habit that only 23% of the poor could cope up with. It's easy for you to watch an episode like Survivor because you don't want to look behind in the office the following day. You want to be the one updating the others how the episodes were running. That's not knowledge accumulation. No. In fact, you're wasting away. Eventually, you become what you focus on. This is my suggestion because you are very many new people here. If I were you, how many feel, I wish I knew what Warren Buffett knew when he was 19? How many feel that? I'm also there. I wish I knew this when I was 19. But there's something we can do today. I'll give you a very simple formula. Commit 2 hours in a month for these lessons. Just 2 hours in a month. Don't come by feelings. Don't come by impulses. It won't help you. And before I finish, you'll actually realize that we are building on what we were doing last month, and I'm going to show you what we are going to do the next 2 months. You come and you're lost because you can't pick it up from where you did not understand. Then number 2, commit for 1 hour that you're the most important customer in your life. You are customer-oriented, and the priority customer is yourself. You're going to give yourself 1 hour, 45 minutes for reading, 15 minutes for inspirational messages. We have over 100 messages you can listen of more than 2 hours. You only need to pick 15 minutes and see what you've been building. And the difference between what we have and what you listen from other countries is that what we share here is in the local context. And number 3, I'll invite you to my Life Journey program, where we can answer questions that I may not answer tonight, because this setup is too big for such a deep engagement. Come take the journey with us. We are launching the next season 3 on 19th of this month at St. Andrews. You can get the details at the info desk. Come walk with me for an entire 1 year, 12 good months. Let's go through this story. We have testimonies in our midst, like the lady I mentioned there, Julia. Let's compare notes after 12 interactive hours. But you've got to be deliberate. You may not have started like Warren Buffett when you're 19, but it's never too late to get started. To develop an idea to maturity, step number 3. Are you still with me? Yes. What was step number 1? Fantastic. Step number 2? Awesome. Step number 3, operate in an idea environment. Operate in an idea environment. You know, some environments can destroy your idea. There are some environments that will definitely kill the idea that you have. You've got to look for an environment that can incubate your idea. You see, when kids are little, we start drawing perimeter walls around their thinking. I want to take you to some exercise. Master, would you help me? I want to give you a simple exercise for us to do. I can see you carried notebooks. Is that okay? Now, how many are guilty here of insisting to their children to color strictly on the line? Don't color like this. How many are guilty of advising a child, make sure you color along the lines? Is that familiar? Yes. Here's a child who was going outside the lines. You see, we introduce perimeter walls in the mind of our children. Children were born knowing no bounds. But the parent begins to say, you must color along the lines. Now, I want to test you. This is my chance now to test how you color along the lines. Is that okay? Let me check how you do it. Let's try something. Please, quickly, let's try that exercise. Join the 9 dots with 4 straight lines. Let's try. Let's try. Can I give you some 30 seconds? Can I give some gifts so that you work faster? Who got it? Oh, there's one hand at the back. What's your name? Jean. Jean, please come. You're the first one to lift up your hand. You need a gift. Jane. Let me see the 4 straight lines. My goodness. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I didn't tell you not to lift your pen. So, do you have my life journey? No. After the meeting, come, I autograph for you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I should have told her not to lift up her pen. So she just drew lines. Okay, here are the 4 straight lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you see it? No, someone can't see it. Can you see it? Are you able to see? Some people need glasses. Okay. Those are 4 straight lines outside the box. Does that make sense? Let's do another exercise. Now join them with 3 straight lines. Let's try 3 straight lines. 4 was easier. Let's try. Now the second one to get, I'll give you. You don't need a job. We don't. No. Do you have it, Mercy? Or the power of the spoken word? The one who will get with 3 straight lines, there's a gift for you. 3 straight lines. This is good. 3 straight lines. Can I get that book? The Power of the Spoken Word. Yes. Anyone? Going once. Lift up your hand if you have it. Please come. 3 straight lines. Let's see. 3 straight lines. Let's see, let's see. Okay, he did just like the first person. I didn't say you don't lift up the pen, so I will give him. So I'll give you that gift. I should have instructed again. Don't lift up your pen. So, 3 straight lines, can you see them? We can see the 3 straight lines. Can we make the assignment harder? Let's make it harder now. I think we are through with the easy part. Join the 9 dots with 1 line. Let's make the assignment a bit harder now. 1 line. 1 line. Yes, let me see. But you didn't join this dot.
Same thing.
Fantastic. Can I have one book? No. The Power of the Spoken Word. That's what I promised. Come, my autograph for you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Notice, I didn't give any instructions. So even this was 1 straight line. Was 1 line, sorry. I said 1 line, not 1 straight line. 1 line. So even what we had previous is still a line. Does that make sense? As much as there are 3, it's still a line. But then, that's still a line in another dimension. I didn't say you use a plain dimension. That's 1 line in a tri-dimension. But let me now ask you the hardest question today. Join the 9 dots with 1 straight line without lifting your pen. 1 straight line without lifting your pen. That's the premium price. 1 straight line, don't lift up your pen. Now here you got to think. Now this is a bone. I didn't say that the cancel should not work. Let me see. Where is it? Those are so many lines and they are 1 straight line. Without lifting your pen. 1 straight line. See, it's not straight. 1 straight line. Can I see? Yeah. Catherine. Engineer Catherine. That's not a straight line. No. Anyone? The premium price. Going once? Yes, come. Anyone? Premium price. No, he has changed the dots. He has changed the box. He has set his own question. That's a nice one. Let's see. Where?
Yeah.
This is not a straight line. This is. Have you been blessed by this video? Please like and share with family, friends, and colleagues. Great people are either sources of light or they are mirrors that reflect the light. Be a channel of blessings to others and hit the subscribe button to enjoy thousands of my videos free of charge.